It's time for the Savvy Realtor Podcast. I'm Walter Storholt alongside Angie Cole, the owner and broker in charge of A. Cole Realty, serving you throughout the Triangle, teaching you about the ins and outs when it comes to buying or selling a home. You can find the team online by going to acolerealty.com. That's A-C-O-L-E realty.com, or by calling 919-578-3128. That's 919-578-3128. And now it's time for one of the top realtors in the Triangle, Angie Cole, and the Savvy Realtor Podcast. Wanted to talk about the things that scare off buyers on today's show, and just rattle through a couple of these real quick. This is like from an article or a list online that I saw somebody on social media put up. I can't remember where I saw this, but I copied the list down, and I wanted to see if you agreed. Are these things indeed that scare off buyers? And if you've seen some of these things before in your experience. First on the list was too many locks on the doors. Like,
oh my gosh,
you ever seen that? Like one of those homes that has like 8 locks going up the door?
No, it's even weirder. Is that a word, weirder? I'm more weird. I'm not sure.
Stranger, weirder. Yeah.
Yes.
I think
bedrooms.
I think it's weirder.
Weirder. Yeah. I've seen where a master bedroom has had like a deadbolt on it.
Oh,
that's a little overkill. You know, so beyond the doorknob, there was a deadbolt, and you just start to wonder why. So that's been weird.
Deadbolt on the inside of the bedroom or on the outside of the bedroom?
Luckily it was on the inside.
Okay,
it was on the inside.
Would be even more concerning.
That would even be a little more awkward as far as who's being locked in there. So, But yeah, that was just, it was interesting.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, not when you see every day, I suppose.
No.
In any event, that was an interesting one. Uncomfortable artwork.
Oh yeah, no, I've seen a handful of this. I've been on one in particular. I'm not going to call it out, but a listing appointment, and there was a art painting above the bed of the owner of the home, and not wearing everything she should be wearing. And we, of course, explained to them that they need to take that down, and they almost just seemed shocked that we would ask that of them.
Who would be offended by it?
I know. I mean, I don't know.
Have you ever seen Parks and Rec? The show Parks and Rec?
No, I don't think so.
It's that's not on anymore. But there's a character in that show. She's not one of the main characters, but just like one of the richest lady in town. Whenever they go to her home, she's always got essentially nude portraits of herself always above her wherever they stop in the home, and like the people from the town are always talking to her about trying to raise money for events and these kinds of things, and they're always just like, oh, can we go somewhere else in the house? And she's like, sure, come over here. And then they stand in another place, and there's another nondescript painting of her hanging in the background.
Right. Oh my!
That reminds me of that.
Yeah, the last thing I care to see is myself on a wall.
That's too funny. Interesting artwork. I'm sure there's many other stories that come along with that.
Oh yeah.
Taxidermy can, some people love taxidermy, but that can scare off a lot of buyers in some cases.
Yeah, I've been into some homes, and I mean a whole entire room. I mean, it is the taxidermy room, and it's just it's a little much. You have to remember whenever buyers walk into your home, they need to visualize themselves there, and if they are not into hunting, they are an animal activist, or just, having animals just stare at me kind of creeps me out too. You might want to take those down.
And remember, we're commenting here not so much on, your personal tastes here are strange. It's just how this would appeal to a buyer or what a buyer would think walking through. So
correct.
If you love taxidermy,
being active and on the market, there's certain ways it makes you feel like you don't live in your home whenever you market it for sale, right? Because it needs to be show ready, and it needs to be appealing to all eyes that are about to come through. Yeah, so to each their own on decorations, but when it's time to market your home, we might need to change up some things a little bit.
That's the context here. Yes. Repairs not taken to completion will scare off many buyers as well. I think we've all seen
shoddy
this,
work,
right? Yeah, like a hole in the wall, so they patched over the hole, but then didn't paint, so it's just a patch on the wall with like no paint, little things like that.
I think we've all seen some of those, unfortunately. Some do-it-yourselfers, which should have left it to the professionals.
I know you've run across this one a couple of times. Unfriendly pets.
Yeah, that's one thing. Just First of all, this one thing I cannot stand that makes like my skin crawl is when I go on an appointment and the animal, most of the time it's probably a dog, which I love dogs, okay? We have a dog. But it is sitting there at my leg and just licking my leg the whole entire time. I guess my lotion or something, but the seller doesn't stop it. If my dog for 1 second was all over, a guest in our house, I would, yank my dog right up. But, just licking my leg, and you have to be like, oh, that's real nice. That's okay. But yeah, once again, when it comes to selling your home, if, definitely you need to remove your pets from the home. Kitty cats can stay, of course, but definitely hide, the kitty box. And we always have to make people aware because some people are highly allergic and they will not be happy with us if we do not make them aware that there is a kitty cat in the home.
Yeah. I know my wife is very allergic to cats. And so it would be, I think if it would almost be a rule out immediately if there was any inclination or sense, even though you're like, okay, well, the cat's not going to be there when you leave. It's just hard to get, I know for her, it's hard to get that smell or that sense out of your nose, and you start to associate that space with.
Some people have really strong,
uncomfortable.
Allergies where, I've had the agents to reach out to me even before scheduling an appointment to make sure there has never been a pet in in the home. Yeah, just because they will, have trouble breathing and, it can be dangerous.
Yeah, absolutely. A very good point there, Angie, as well. We're talking about these things that scare off buyers. Unfriendly pets can certainly do that. I think you had a story, too, once of a barking dog, or it wasn't their dog, but it was a neighbor's aggressive dog, right?
Yep, I remember the exact home. Yeah, they had two very, very large German Shepherds that, were next door to their home, and people would go to view the home, and there was not an actual fence. It was an underground fence, right? So you think that these dogs are charging at you.
Yes, I hate underground fences.
Oh, I know.
Whenever we walk the dogs, it always scares me, you
you just never
neighbor
know.
Dog comes charging down the street like it's going to eat you.
Yeah, so we had, endless remarks after remarks that either these dogs were just, their heads are sticking out the window of the neighboring home, growling at them and barking. And then other times where people were like, we were scared to even get out of the car because of these two huge dogs that looked like they wanted to eat us. And for all I know, they could have been, friendly as can be, but you have to always be cautious. So, yeah, it's sad when the neighbors, hurt your position in selling.
Yep. Something else that scares off buyers, dust and dirt. That's kind of an obvious one. We want a clean home.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's something that we definitely make sure that we give the feedback and the advice if we go through a home, hey, let's get a professional cleaner in here. We need to make it look pristine. Also, I hate it whenever I go into a home and it's just, spotless. But then you look into the HVAC return, and it is just full of dirt, like the filter, like they've never cleaned it. So make sure you clean, replace your filters, vacuum out the vent, the intake vent, because that can really be a turn off and scare people as far as, what type of condition is the, HVAC system in.
Yeah. Details. That's another one. Mystery smells is also on the list.
Yeah.
We could throw that in kind of with what you're talking about with the pets.
Yeah. We've unfortunately we've run into some, especially, when kitty cats, sprinkle on areas they shouldn't be. That's a tough smell to get out. So
yeah, definitely is. Last but not least, outdated decor, something that scares off buyers. That one's understandable. Everyone loves newness, and depending on the decorations and the decor, it can really date a home. So you could have a brand new home, but if it has outdated, furniture and curtains and it can definitely I don't know, it can just throw you off. So yeah, it's the least egregious of those because they can renovate. The buyers can renovate. You may not need to upgrade.
Right, exactly. But that's why we have our professional stager who comes through and gives you that feedback to help you to make your home most appealing for prospective buyers.
You got it. You've been listening to the Savvy Realtor podcast. I'm Walter Storholt alongside Angie Cole. She's the owner and broker in charge of A. Cole Realty here in the Triangle. And if you have questions for Angie, we invite you to go online to acolerealty.com. Listen to past podcast episodes on the website, read the blog, and all the great information, including the option to find a home right there on the website. That's acolerealty.com. And you can also call Angie with your questions, 919-578-3128.